Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Blue Ribbon Channel. Boy, it's been a while since I've been on the live stream. James, are you here
Hello
with me?
there.
There he is.
I am here. How are you doing, my friend?
Oh my gosh, I'm doing pretty good. No, I'm not
Yeah, I
having.
feel like we've.
Wait, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I feel like we've done this before, like
Yeah,
really
I
recently.
know it's a little bit of a deja vu. Yes.
Right? Right?
Let's just make sure everybody can hear us in the chat. I see Moonzer, I see Max, I see Ozzy, I see Mark. Let's see who else was in here. I know Mr. Golden Bee was in here a little bit earlier. There's Max. Max is saying hello. Ozzy is saying, "Has of yesterday, Steve." Yeah, well, I've changed my shirt. I had a shower.
Might have took a nap or two, you know.
Yeah, got a little sleep here and there. Good. Mark says I hear everything. Wonderful.
Excellent.
So
I'm
we're
glad Mark could make it. He wasn't sure last night.
that's
Because
right.
I think he had to work.
Oh, we've got King of Battleships. Hello, King of Battleships.
Oh, welcome.
And I threw this. I hope everybody's excited because we are going to probably at near the end of the live stream, we're going to have a 7-question quiz, and the 7-question quiz is going to be about information that is discussed in our live stream here. It's not going to be about how many rivets does the Titanic have, or how many rivets did they use in the construction of the USS New Jersey. It's not going to be. We are going to have a
3 million.
few. Yeah, right. We're not going to quite go to that extreme. We are going to have a few little questions like that, but it's going to be mostly about stuff that we discuss in the live stream. And it's going to be a little relaxed. It's like you're going to be sitting in my living room. We're going to do a little slideshow here, a little bit of video, some stuff that's not going to probably be shown in some of the videos I'm going to release on the USS New Jersey here in the next week or so. But we'll definitely cover some information. You might want to get a piece of paper and a pencil down so that you can maybe jot some notes. Because the person who has all of the questions right, and I know my camera is reversed, so you're going to see this backwards, but this is going to be the prize that we're going to be sending to the person who has, there we go, who has the most correct answers out of the 7.
Yeah, that looks familiar.
Yeah, a
Look
little
what
bit.
we have.
Look at
There you
there.
go.
There it is.
That's what yours can look like.
Exactly.
There, see? See, I always keep the little box arts for mine too, because they just look really cool.
It is, yes. Now, how long did it take you to build that model?
That one probably took, I'd say probably a month or so.
Wow. That's a pretty good
Now,
amount of time.
that was also when I was also getting, well, I still kind of am relatively new to it. I've only been doing it for a year, but I think that was probably the third or fourth one that I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you complete
And if you want to see how I built it, I do have the video on the channel. It's called Building a Larger Titanic, and there's part 1 and part 2. So if the winner is interested to see how I built it, there you go.
So I think I've actually got it in the description. But for those of you who are not familiar, this is James. He has the All American Travels channel on YouTube, and he's got a lot of. Well, you've got like over 600 videos. You got a lot more than me. But he has a lot of the models that he's displayed. He's gone into the process of how he did the models, and you've got one on Titanic. You said.
That's actually the third Titanic I've built, but this is the same one that you're going to give away today. I've built 3 different Titanic models.
Okay. Have you done the larger one? What is it, like the 300?
No, this is actually the largest one I've built. There is, I think it's the Centennial Edition, which is a 1-350 that I would like to build. There's also the Trumpeter 1-200, which is the largest one that I know of, which is like 4 feet in length. It's massive.
Well, do they still make those?
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing with models. You know, the only ship you can ever find that's not a warship is Titanic. You know, there are Titanic models in abundance.
Yeah. Mark was asking, does the model come with glue and paints? Absolutely not.
Nope, you're on your own there.
Yep, you will have to find a model store and get your correct paints and your and the I used to use testers. You use testers? Or
When I built the Arizona, that was the very first one that I built that required painting, and I used testers for that. But since then, I don't really use testers anymore. I'm a big fan of Tamiya products now,
mm,
and I
okay.
use that almost. I wouldn't say exclusively, but I that's the bulk of what I use.
Okay. Is it a fast drying cement?
You can get fast drying cement. They make different types of cement, and yes, one of them is fast drying. I believe that's the one I'm currently using.
Okay. So yeah, so I got this model um during the raffle for the Steamship Historical Society here in on the Queen Mary a couple months ago. And I thought, oh, that's cool. I'm gonna grab the model. And so I started thinking, I'm never gonna have the time to build this model. Never. I don't have time to do that kind of stuff anymore. So I decided, I would rather see the model go to somebody who is probably going to have the time to do it. And I figured,
Yeah.
I figured the people that are watching the channel, watching our live stream today, they're probably going to have more of the ability to have the time to build the model. So I'm
Mhm.
hoping whoever gets the model will share with us when they complete the model, and then maybe we can bring them on. We can do a live stream with them, and we'll show their model.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
I
I
would
think
I would be interested in being a part of that.
absolutely. Let's see. Maybe Walmart has it. I don't. I've been in some.
Um,
I've been in some WalMarts that had some really good sections for crafts, models and crafts, but I'm not so sure about that.
if you're wanting the products that I use, I have never seen them in a Walmart.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I realized I didn't mute myself in Discord.
Oh, whoops.
I think that's just no, that's not Discord. What is? I'm not sure what that is. Let me see here. Oop, nope, that's not the one I want to bring in. Oh well. Okay, whoever's messaging me, don't message me. Okay. Let's see. Michaels has it all. If you have a franchise near you, well, oh yeah, Michaels is not too bad. But I
Yeah,
would,
we have
I, I would definitely recommend more of a model store, not necessarily like a craft
yeah.
store. Yeah.
Yeah, we deal. We have a store not far from me that they sell the kits, they sell the tools, they sell the supplies, the glue, you name it, they have it. That's where I get all of my stuff from.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll get into um, a little bit of the slideshow here, and we are going to show a little bit of video. Um, yeah, Hobby Lobby. Was have you been to a hobby? I've never actually stepped inside a Hobby Lobby.
I was there this morning actually.
Oh, well, there you go.
They have some things, but as far as paints and glues, putty, they pretty much exclusively carry testers.
Ah,
I
okay.
mean, testers is an okay product, but I've just I've had some issues with some of their things, and I just prefer the Tamiya product.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yep. Moonzer's here. Moonzer says hello.
Oh, hello.
He won your quiz a couple weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, he won the USS Alabama magnet, and
Ah,
he
yes.
told me that he got it. So
Wonderful. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Now we're gonna. I don't know if anybody was here. Yeah, a few of you were here for the live stream on James's channel last night. So we're gonna cover a little bit of some of the images that you saw yesterday, but We're going to cover a lot more than that. Okay, I think we're there. Yeah, we're there. So yeah, so to recap a little bit, never fly Frontier. I actually I was out this morning and listening to the radio, and on the one of the news reports they were talking about how travel expenses for flying, the additional charges that you get in airlines have far exceeded the actual cost of the ticket. Well, that
Wow.
is definitely the case with Frontier, because I think I paid $110 for my check bag. I had to check a bag. Now, if I wanted a carry on bag, that would have been like another $60.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was like $30 each way. I think for the check bag it was like 50 something dollars each way. Yeah. Moonzer says never fly Spirit. I've never flown Spirit. I've always been told not to fly Spirit, but I've never flown it. All right, we'll move on with the only reason why I picked Frontier is I've always loved their tails, the animals on their tails. All right, so um, discussing yesterday, I got to experience all three modes of transportation:
Yes.
planes, trains, and ships. And so I took the plane to Philadelphia, and in the airport terminal is the connection to the airline, the SEPTA airline in Philadelphia, that takes you directly to the Amtrak station in Philadelphia. So this is the train that I was waiting for. Uh, they run about every hour or so. Um, Not a very fast train, but fairly quick. The airport's maybe about 6 or 7 miles from downtown. We had a fairly long train too. I think we had about 4 train sets.
Yeah, it was, like I was saying last night, I've never rode on a modern train. I've only ever rode on one train. It was an old train from like the 1800s or whatever.
Yeah, I remember you were telling me about that yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Not because I've never wanted to, it's just they're expensive.
So a little experience on board the train leaving out of the station. All right. Let's see here. This is Philadelphia 30th Street Station.
Was that the Pennsylvania Railroad?
Yes.
Okay.
So I will. Well, first off, I just now realized we're not getting sound from the video into the live stream. That's not a good thing. That is not a good thing at all. That's not a good thing at all. Woo. Very interesting. Okay. Well, we'll figure that out. So yes, you are correct. This is the Pennsylvania Railroad 30th Street Station.
Okay.
Built, I believe, in 1923, early 20s, I believe. We'll take a look at some shots here. This is the main concourse at 30th Street Station. Beautiful Art Deco design interior. Extremely busy. A lot of train activity going in and out of the station. And let's see here. Some more shots of the
Mark says Penn Station. That's Penn Station right there?
Pennsylvania 30th Street Station.
Okay.
So this is the exterior of it, and I was just mesmerized by the thickness of the columns. These are pictures that you probably didn't see yesterday.
Okay.
The exterior columns were just enormous. Let's see here. Yeah, just and clean. It looks as though the station has recently received some kind of an exterior cleaning. Usually when you have like masonry structures like this, they kind of gather all the grime in the air and they start to turn black. These were clean structures.
Okay, so
They don't make them like that
come
anymore.
outside a little bit here. This is Amtrak
Yeah,
30th Street
no
station,
sound.
and I have to say, one unbelievable.
Oh well.
Yeah, we'll skip ahead of that. Yeah,
We'll make do.
So here's one clue. You saw this yesterday of the Pennsylvania Railroad. This is some wrought iron designs that are in the station that show the heritage of the Pennsylvania Railroad. This is the Keystone logo for the railroad.
Yes.
Still on display, still perfectly shown. This is like a balcony for a little coffee shop, I believe, inside. And there you see the PRR standing for Pennsylvania Railroad.
I think Max is saying he heard sound. Mark is saying the same.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good.
I don't hear anything because I've got it muted on my phone. I'm watching the stream on my phone. That way I can see the pictures.
Mark says go back. We heard it. Oh, well, I think I was just showing the entrance, and I was just talking really quick. So you're really not missing much on that. It's just the entrance to it. But now that I know that we're hearing sound, I won't worry about it. There's some more of the wrought iron decor. Just beautiful light fixtures. Things that you would actually you often see similar designs on the Queen Mary.
Right. Yeah, 'cause she was very much done in that Art Deco style stuff,
yes,
if I remember correctly.
So this is my Acela train.
Right now I'm seeing a hallway. Okay, there we go. Now I got the video. So were you, when you were there, you were traveling on these trains just, you didn't like rent a car or anything? You just used all the trains for transportation around town?
I'll tell you in 1 second.
Okay.
So Acela are the trains that Amtrak operates on what they call the Northeast Corridor, between between Boston, New York, and Washington D.C. These are the trains that can do the maximum speed of the Northeast Corridor, which in sections can reach up to 150 miles per hour.
Wow.
Yeah. Now I don't think we did 150 on the leg between Philadelphia and Washington D.C., but I believe we did peak over 100.
Wow.
But I had booked this before. Now they have other trains that they run, what they call the Northeast Regionals, and they only run a maximum of 110. But these trains are designed. They have a pendular suspension system, so they're able to lean into the curbs a little bit more, so they can actually pick up to 150. Their maximum speed is 165, but they can do it. But they are their operating speed on Amtrak here in the Northeast Corridor is 150.
I don't know much about trains, but I imagine you've got to have a nice stretch of straight track for it to reach that sort of speed.
Yeah, you have a little bit of straight track and a what they call an elevated curve. So
Mhm.
they have gone through the Northeast Corridor relatively recently, within the last 10 years, and have super elevated the curves so that the trains can actually lean into the curve more and
Mhm.
continue at a higher speed. They want
Yeah,
to
so
they want to increase it even more, which we hope they've got some new Acela trains that can go a little bit faster, but they've got to improve the road bed of the Northeast Corridor.
okay. Yeah, see, we have no such transportation like that here. The only mass transit you find down here is buses.
Yeah. Well, whatever gets you there.
Yep. You do what you got to do.
And we got a little bit of a shot of us leaving the station. I was so tired from this trip because I flew on the red eye flight. I slept. It was a 2-hour train ride. I slept the entire 2 hours.
Wow.
I got on the train, relaxed in my seat, and I was out until we reached Washington D.C.
Yeah, I would more than likely have been up the entire time. I'm the one who I could never sleep in a car, ever.
Yeah,
My entire life. I was never one to sleep in a car. So chances of me probably sleeping on a train are probably slim and none as well.
right. 30th Street Station is pretty huge. It took you'll see here in the video in a little bit because you're on delay, but
Yeah.
it takes a little while to actually get out of the station, and we're just now getting out of the station here.
Hmm.
And this was a lousy day for weather, by the way. It was rain off and on.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of overcast.
Yeah. Let's see, I think we have a little bit at speed. A little bit of at speed. I think we were doing 90 to 100 here.
Wow.
There we go. All right. Moving on. Oh. So we're now at Washington Union Station. Okay. Moving on. This is the main concourse of Washington Union Station. Another beautiful structure.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Let's see here. So this was a shot we showed yesterday. This is the outside of the entrance into Washington Union Station, and we can see the Capitol building there in the background. But there was that bell. Remember yesterday we were talking about that bell?
Yes. Yes, there it is.
So that bothered me because I didn't even go up to the bell to see what it was. I believe it's like a half scale model of like the Liberty Bell, in, as far as like its size is concerned. But it was cast. The casting was ordered by the American Legion in the mid '70s. It was created for the bicentennial in 1976. It was cast in 1975, I believe, and it is called the Freedom Bell. And it's been on display here, I believe, since 1981.
I wonder if that's where they coined the term "let freedom ring."
There you go. Let freedom ring. Right.
Hmm.
Exactly. Let's see here. We see the front entrance, and we were talking yesterday about how A lot of news stations, they'll have like a live camera shot of Washington Union Station. You'll see this building quite often in like CNN, MSNBC, Fox News.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah.
we took a look at that one last night as well.
Right.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Beautiful structure though. Beautiful structure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. That's another shot of Union Station. Let's see here. Very large structure. It's actually got a little bit of a mall inside. There's a McDonald's, a couple of restaurants.
So on the inside,
well,
it
we're
kind
now
of looks
jumping
like
ahead.
it would have been
At Union Station, it's Sunday
more
morning.
modern, I guess.
Don't even ask
Would be the
about
word.
last night. Anyway, we're about ready to go try and board our train, get some breakfast. We'll be on the train for a couple hours, way back in Philly, and then we meet up with Mike and Ryan and Spencer, and we go see the New Jersey.
Now, was this your first time to this part of the country?
I've been to Washington D.C. before, but I've never actually gotten a chance to get off in Washington D.C. I was on a train a couple of times, but we were in the station, but we had no way to get out. My whole intent of going to Washington D.C. was to maybe see some sights.
Yeah, the more traditional ones you would
Oh.
expect to see.
Oh yeah, we thought, well, maybe go to Washington Monument. Maybe go to the Capitol. We walked to my friend Michael and I walked to our hotel, which was literally just a few blocks up the street. But it started to rain, and it wasn't like a light rain. It really started to like heavy rain. And we get to the hotel. We are damp and cranky, and it's still warm. It was only like low 80s, but when it's raining like that and it's low 80s, it's just miserable, especially when you're wet. And so this was before noon, I think like 11:30 in the morning, and we asked if we could get an early check-in. We got the room, we got inside, we took our showers, we changed clothes, we laid down on the bed, and the next thing we knew was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We just passed out. So our day of going sightseeing was pretty much shot.
Right. Yeah, I had a whole bunch of plans for things I wanted to do today as well, but I ate lunch and fell asleep for a couple hours. So.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That was our thing. Was we were hungry, so we went and walked down to what they called Union Market. We were just like up the street from Union Market, and we went to this great place that had the best Reuben sandwich I've ever had, and $8 old fashions. I mean, normally when you go to a place, they're like $12, $15, $16. $8. Yeah, we stayed there for a few hours.
Right. Had a few cold carbonated beverages.
Oh yeah, well, my friend had I think he had a beer, but I had a few old fashions.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Mark saying I was hoping to have lots of beer today. Well, Mark, just remember sharing is caring.
That's right. So we're now looking at the big ship that was sitting in the Philadelphia Naval Yard.
Yes. Here we go.
So this is CVN 67, formerly the USS John F. Kennedy. This was the last aircraft carrier to be constructed with conventional steam propulsion. All the carriers that followed this carrier were nuclear reactors instead of boilers. They still had
so
steam
she
propulsion.
Predates the Nimitz.
She predates the Nimitz. She predates the Enterprise as well.
Now I see you got your Midway shirt on there, and we were talking about that last night. That this ship, she's in between the Nimitz and the Midway.
Yes. Yeah, as far as size, humongous vessel.
I mean, she looks gigantic even in this photo.
Right. And she's a Kitty Hawk class, so we have the USS Kitty Hawk and the USS John F. Kennedy, and now the John F. Kennedy will be I believe it's the next Ford class. I believe it's the next Ford class carrier that's coming out. Um,
Okay.
after the Gerald Ford, it'll be the John F. Kennedy.
Funny, I posted a picture of the Gerald R. Ford in Discord a couple of days ago, and that thing is freaking humongous.
Yeah,
Jeez.
absolutely. Yeah. And the one
I
thing I
mean,
was, now I know you're not too familiar with these, but it seems as though there is some form of cabin or maybe like a wardroom. You see how on the bow there are 5 portholes
um,
right below the flight deck. There are 5 portholes. They're currently covered with the deadlights on the Kennedy.
okay, I gotcha.
And the Midway has these as well. I have no idea what's there because we never went into that area of the ship on the Midway.
Did you go into the okay, so you're looking at the ship, look at the very bow.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the giant anchor chain, the lowest one coming out, and then
Right,
above that you got the 2 holes with more chains.
right. Now,
I want to
what I'm talking about is the flat surface right beneath the flight deck.
Okay.
You'll see that there are 5 covered portholes. In this case, they are covered because the steel cast deadlights are covering the portholes.
Okay.
On Midway, the deadlights are open, and you can actually see the glass portholes.
Well, and that was one of the things I was going to say. There, when you go to the bow, and I forget what section of the ship it is, you can look down, and they've got like really thick plexiglass, and you can look right through this. I don't think portholes are right word because it had chains going through it,
There's a
but you can
hose.
look right out into the bay.
It's a hose
You
pipe.
know. Okay. Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, yeah. I need to find out what's in this area because it's probably similar to what the Midway has. It's got to be like maybe like admiral's quarters or a special officer's wardroom. It's not just something there. I think it's something more special than that. But
Yeah.
you are above the anchor machine, the windlass and all that for the anchors. So I don't know if I would want to necessarily be living in that area.
Yeah. Right.
But what of you? I mean, if you were at sea, at speed with those forward looking portals like that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. All right, we'll move along. So she's going through an abatement process right now. Those big clamps that you see along um, her deck, her upper deck, those are what held the containers that held inflatable rafts for evacuation of the ship.
Okay.
There are some that are still on the Midway, but the majority of the ones on the Midway are also gone. But they held 2 containers each. And the interesting thing is that you see those on cruise ships today. And the Queen Mary, believe it or not, even had multiple racks of containers of inflatable rafts in her last few years of service. There's a couple of containers that are in storage on the ship. Don't think they have the rafts inside, but we do have the containers.
Right.
Another shot of her bow there. Looks like they have a huge diesel generator on her flight deck, probably to get power for lighting within the ship for whatever abatements they have to continue to do. And she'll be towed to Texas here. It's within the next year or two.
Did they say where in Texas?
Um, I'll have to look that up.
I wonder if it's because if it's like Galveston or something, even if I can't tow the ship, it might be worth it to make a drive just to even
Yeah,
see it in person, even if I can't tour it or anything.
Right. Exactly. I like this head-on shot. You can see those 5 portholes there at the very top. And I don't know why her center anchor kind of misguided. The chain is off. the
Mhm.
There's part of me that wants to haul up the chain and then set the anchor again so that it's actually in place correctly.
Mhm.
Let's see here. A little bit
I'm
more.
gonna look up this ship
Yeah, go
and
ahead.
see USS John F. Kennedy CV-67 scrapping. Let's see
Yeah.
what we can find out.
Okay. Just one big ship. That's all I can say about her.
Yes. They have some really nice pictures of her too, in looking a whole lot better than she does here.
Yeah.
On October 6, 2021, John F. Kennedy and Kitty Hawk were sold for 1 cent each to International Shipbreaking Limited.
Hmm.
Yep, Mark, this ship is sadly slated for scrapping.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 cent, I would have bought it.
And from
Don't
what
know
I
where I'd put
understand,
it.
this would probably be one of the last of this size of vessel coming from the Navy that would be, would have the potential for being a museum ship. The
Uh-huh.
Navy doesn't seem to want to be even close to negotiate like converting a Nimitz ship to a museum ship. If it was nuclear
Right.
powered, they don't want to. They don't want to have the liability of I guess contamination and the cleanup.
And it sucks, but I mean, I get that.
So there are some Perry class frigates that are at the Philadelphia yard that are slated for museum ship that are still in reserve right now. But they are probably going to be some of the last ships that the Navy is going to be considering for museum ship status.
Yeah, I noticed there less and less ships are being slated to become museum ships.
Right. Exactly.
Um, International Shipbreaking Limited is in Brownsville, which is basically right at the Mexican border.
Okay. I almost was going to say Brownsville, and I didn't want to say that because I'm not too familiar with Brownsville. If that was an area where you would have a scrapping for a ship or not.
Yeah, I've never been to that part of Texas, but I know where it's at.
Okay. All right.
Now,
There's more of a.
Corpus Christi is not that far from Brownsville, and there is a ship there. I forget which ship it is, but there is a museum ship there.
If I remember, Kitty Hawk was just being scrapped as well. Um, but I don't remember where she was being scrapped. But there were videos on YouTube of her. It kind of
Hmm.
like a progressive drone shots of her.
Okay, right.
Um, sad, very very sad. I hate
Indeed.
I hate seeing a ship scrap.
I would really, I would truly love to see the Nimitz preserved, but I know that's not going to happen.
John Hill was asking which ships are those. I'm assuming that you're asking about the Perry class ships. Let's see if
He says USS Lexington is in Corpus Christi.
okay. Now that's a museum
Me-
ship though, correct?
Yes. Let's see. That is a carrier, Essex class carrier, built during World War II.
Okay, so it's an Essex class, just like
Mhm.
the the one in New York. What is the one in New York?
That I do not know. But shoot, it would be worth it to me to
The Intrepid.
go check out the Lexington.
The Intrepid's an Essex class.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. I think the next one is a video. Is it video? Nope. More shots of the Kennedy. Ah, my first view of the New Jersey.
Ah, yes. Here we go.
And the one thing we were constantly reminded of was the fact that this is a working environment. You know, it's not like it's a museum where everything's all like nice, kept.
Correct.
You
Yeah.
know, it is.
Uh,
They warned us like you could look around the um, the shipyard, but you did have to take into consideration that it's also a working environment where you have a lot of people who are in the process of doing work there.
oh
And
yeah. Now, see, when we did the Texas, the shipyard was closed on the Sunday, so there were no
now,
workers there.
now technically, that was the case here, which was why they initially did their tours for Saturday and Sunday.
Mhm.
But when they would fall behind, workers would come on the weekends and continue work. So work
Right.
was still going on even on the weekends.
Yeah, I know the Thomas C, which is the shipyard that the kid is at, they're open 24/7 as well. Now, there's still no announcement there on if they're doing dry dock tours. So I don't know how that's going to work out if they do end up doing dry dock tours for the kid.
Yep. There we go. So we just watched a little video here while you were talking about
Yeah, it's
our
still playing for
our
me.
to our entry into the dry dock itself, and the building that you see with the big wide open door. That was the our greeting point for the battleship group, where we
Okay.
got our goggles, our hard hats. We signed our life away for liability. We attended a safety a safety seminar, for
Yep.
understanding, what to do and what not to do within the shipyard.
Hmm.
Man, yeah, probably about 20 minutes in there before we actually got out to wander into the dry dock itself.
I don't remember us being having some type of briefing. Um, Now I signed like all my waivers and stuff prior to because they had it set up that way to where you could if you chose to.
Right.
So I did all that in advance, and when we got there, yeah, basically the same thing you did. We had to wear some type of eye protection. If you had glasses, you did
Yeah.
not have to wear the goggles,
Right.
and vice versa. You always had to have the hard hat on,
Yeah.
and we had to have a lanyard that we had to wear.
That was one thing we didn't have to do. We didn't
Hmm.
have any kind of identification.
Hmm.
All right, we'll move on here. Let's see here. Oh, I think actually this is going to be a little bit of a video that I'm going to show of the start of the tour. Oh, Aaron,
Hello,
K4
Aaron.
K4RNA joined us. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and show this one video. This is one video I'm not gonna probably include in the video releases for the New Jersey on the channel. So I'm gonna go ahead and show this to you. These are the outtakes, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Steve's gonna record the entire thing.
Yes, I'm going to record the entire thing.
Very meta. I got a question already. I think our tour was a lot.
Hey, what time is it now?
45.
So, we're going to do a little bit of a walk and talk here as we move on down the dry dock basin. Helps things flow a little bit easier. Dry dock number 3 here was built in 1921 here in the Philadelphia Navy Yard. It was designed to hold the Lexington class battle cruisers, 2 of which were being built on the other side of the road building here at the time.
So is this like your safety briefing that you were describing?
No, this is the beginning of the tour.
Okay, so you've already done that. Okay.
It is 144 feet across. At its narrowest point, it is 114 feet across. So it is just big enough to hold an Iowa-class battleship. The concrete foundations of the Her third and most prominent visit, however, was in the fall and winter of 1967 into 1968. This was during her reactivation for use during the Vietnam War. If you go home later tonight and on YouTube you search for a film called The American Dreadnought from 1968, half of the film is just New Jersey sitting in this dry dock being reactivated. You get to see a lot of contemporary footage from that time. It's also a good, quick 30-minute video. It has a nice history lesson, but the primary action that I like to point to people is the reactivation during Vietnam.
My God.
This was
Oh
my
God.
first opportunity to look down inside the dry dock, and it. Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's massive.
They were painting the port side of the ship, which was why it had all of the black tarps strung across between the upper deck and the side wall of the dry dock.
Now, see, with the Texas, you were never like at the entrance level of the ship. You were always down
Right.
at the very bottom
Right.
by the hull.
But we'll make do with what we have. So, pulling the battleship into the dry dock is a bit of a song and dance. You cannot have the tugboat dragging the ship back because now the ship is in place, but now the tugboat is trapped between the ship and the side of the dry dock. So how do you get her in? If you look across the street, there is a capstan. A line is wrapped around this capstan about 5 times. It is then passed through this scuttle.
It's kind of hard to hear him, but they're showing the main capstan that can actually like pull the ship into the dry dock, which is there across
Okay.
the fence.
As that capstan is slowly turning, it is dragging the battleship into the dock. The tugboats were just gently nudging the bow and stern to keep her tracking straight.
Actually, I'm going
Now,
to.
if we
wait a
were
minute.
to be transported back in time to September of 19.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause it really quick. An interesting thing that they brought up was the fact that normally when they bring ships into dry dock, they come in bow first, with the stern section being near like the caisson. In this case, they brought her in stern first, and with her bow near the caisson. And I forget exactly the reason why they decided to go this way, but normally the reason why they would bring the stern in, bring it, have it near the caisson is because there's a lower portion of the floor of the dry dock, so that you have more space between the actual floor of the dry dock and the propellers and the rudders.
Yeah.
So that you have working space there. Well, since they weren't going to be doing any work on the rudders and they weren't going to be doing any work on the propellers, other than cleaning them, there wasn't a necessity to do that. So I guess for whatever reason they did bring her in stern first in this case. But that one large capstan is what brings her in. They don't bring in tugboats or anything into the dry dock. They just haul her in by line.
1967, looking at the battleship during
Yeah,
the Vietnam
and the
War
difference
reactivation,
with this and what Texas was on and what the kid will be on is those two are going to be on floating dry docks.
Right.
There is a pit. That pit allows the workers some extra room when working under her propellers and rudders. We are not doing any major work to these systems, so we can sit in the dry dock backwards. Although realistically, she can be pointed either way. So, as mentioned previously, on the other side of the Rhodes building there were the original slipways. This is where New Jersey's keel was laid in September of 1940. Secretary of the Navy at the time, Charles Edison, son of inventor 32,000 tons. So they had to grease the slipway. Does anyone know what they used? Lard, correct. Does anyone know the amount of lard that was used?
Like 32,000?
Y'all are giving me very scientific answers, but I do need a number.
32,000?
32,000 what?
I don't know the metric. I don't know. Lard, I don't know.
10 tons, multiply that by 5. They used 50 tons of lard.
Wow.
If you divide that by 2 or multiply that by 2,000, that is 100,000 pounds. So when Miss Carolyn Edison, wife of Charles Edison, waxed the bottle of New Jersey wine across our bow and they released the hydraulic triggers, our old girl slid into the Delaware River and kept going. And kept going. The tugboats frantically tried to stop her, but still she kept going. And then she hit the other side of the river in a mud bank. Normally, to a sailor, this is considered a bad omen. I don't think our old girl got the memo. But this explains why she had to go into dry dock in June, July of 43. Her condensers had sucked up some of that mud. Even though they were not being active, just the act of running aground had trapped some mud up inside of there. Yep, stern first. Traditionally, ships are launched stern first because, in theory, that provides greater resistance and hull drag since the ship is designed to be pushed forward through the water. But the Lord helped. So, June, July 43, she gets her condensers cleaned out. She does sea trials on the Atlantic seaboard between Virginia and Maine. And then in October, she comes back here for some minor modifications. She gets a little more anti-aircraft guns. They enclose her open bridge and some other minor work. And then in October 12th and 14th, 1943, she sails off down the river for her first war deployment, arriving in theater in January of 44. Any questions? Pacific. She was stationed in the Atlantic for a couple months while she was doing trials, but realistically they needed her in the Pacific. True. Plus, realistically, all the older, slower battleships, they could be used for bombarding the French coast. Any other questions? So we are going to head down into the dry dock basin itself. Please use 2 hands when going down the railing.
So I wish I knew what the name of our tour guide was, but he was a really good tour guide. He had a lot of information to give us. And we're heading at this point. We were heading down the stairs, the 75-step stairs down to the bottom of the dry dock.
Yeah, that's pretty steep.
Yeah, and they gave us the warning of don't hold your camera or your phone while going down the stairs. Like, put it away and put it in your pocket, and that way you can like have a 3-point stand. So you've got one hand on the railing at all times. I can understand why. Luckily, luckily there are landings in between, so it's not like 75 steps. If you fall down, you go down 75 steps. But still, the condition of the concrete was not in that great of shape. The salt water, the fresh water, so the brine water that comes in there doesn't exactly react well with concrete. So the condition of the concrete was not very great.
And at some point, you got to climb that back up.
And at some point, you do have to. Yeah. Exactly. Let's see here. I may want to mute this so that because I think I'm going to skip some videos here, which will be released. Oh, well, there's a picture of me. It was taken by a friend of mine. That was me heading down, doing the recordings. And and then there's a shot of me. This is down in the dry dock with the oh my gosh, those massive propellers. We were talking about the hard hats. How you could bump your head. I think you were talking about how you were going to bump your head on the Texas.
Oh, I did a few times
Oh yeah,
actually.
yeah. Well, I almost connected my head with one of the edges of the rudder.
Well, I hope you kept your hard hat on.
I did. I think
Good.
it hit the hard hat, not my head.
Good. Yeah, I bumped my head on the hull a few times. Is it you get to that point where you're really getting close, and it's like right before you start going under to like get to the section where they're going to show you the keel and let you
Right,
touch the keel and all that.
right.
Oh yeah, yeah. I conked a few times.
Let's see here what we got. Nope, nope. We don't want to show that. Well, we'll show that. This is the under the ship. The blocks that you see on the left hand side are the blocks that are supporting the keel. Um, the camera angle, we're looking towards the bow. So when you see the daylight at the far end, but way behind us, that is that is where it exits out to the bow itself. We entered in from the right, where there's a electrical light there that's shining our way through. Um, we had to basically kneel down and crawl into there. We didn't have to crawl on our hands and knees, but we did
Right.
basically take a kneel when we were underneath there.
Yeah, we had to squat and walk while squatting
Right.
underneath the Texas.
So Aaron was asking if that's the Holland Tunnel. So we're actually way forward of the Holland Tunnel. We're only maybe about 200 feet from the bow. The Holland Tunnel actually tapers upward, or tapers upward to the or downward, I should say, downward to the actual bottom of the ship. But the Holland Tunnel itself runs a fairly good portion, from the stern, towards towards the bow. But we couldn't go into the Holland Tunnel because they were doing work in there at the time. I was really wanting to kind of get into the Holland Tunnel, but we couldn't do it. The hatches that were discovered that fed cooling water to the bearings that were inside for the propeller shafts, they were in the process of welding those plates closed when we were there. So didn't get the opportunity to go into the Holland Tunnel. Let's see here. There's a few shots of us underneath. Move ahead. Oh, so yeah. If it wasn't for me, that ship would just be falling down. I'm holding the bow. You'll see it here in a minute, James.
You're stronger than I was. I don't think I'd have been able to hold the Texas up.
Now I want to see if I can zoom in a little bit. Yes, I can zoom in. So we were talking about cavitation, pitting from cavitation, and you can see this is the Taylor bow of the New Jersey, and
Not to be confused with a bulbous bow.
not to be confused with a bulbous bow. Correct. This is what they call a Taylor bow, which is basically a bulbous front, but it does not have the extending nose of
Right.
what is considered a bulbous bow. But this pitting takes place because of cavitation at the bow itself, which I thought was very interesting. You don't usually consider cavitation occurring in anywhere other than near the propellers, but this is all due to cavitation. And I don't know if you are at the point where you can see the pitting taking place.
Yes, I can.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
we're there.
And they form in lines, very strange lines that you can see here in the photograph. No explanation as to the reason for uh, some people were thinking, well, maybe that's collision damage from hitting something in the water, hitting another ship. And no, it's not from collision. It's definitely from cavitation, because you can see that. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more. That it's multiple holes. It's the bubbles that are formed in the water that are basically
Curious to
superheated
know
steam.
why it's only at the bow as well. I mean, the ship hasn't been active in what, 30 years?
Well, this would definitely be all from her her sailing days.
Right.
Yeah. Anything there wasn't anything that was really visible, um, as far as like corrosion from
Is she?
her being a museum ship.
Oh, where's her normal spot where she her mooring where she's at in New Jersey?
In
Is that like an open river?
Oh yeah, it's just 5 miles up the river, up the Delaware River from the dry dock here.
That's right. That's right. I
Hmm.
watched them do the tow video.
Right.
Now, the reason I'm wondering is because, as you know, the kids in the Mississippi, and it's getting hit with debris all the time.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's probably not the kind of debris that's going to do any damage to the hull
Hmm.
plating. It's mainly just trash in the river that might come up.
Hmm. In
Um.
fact, I was at the Kid Museum a week ago today, and the dolphins, as they call it, the two structures that she's anchored to that allow her
Yes.
to go up and down with the river. There was a looked like a big log, all cut up in one of them last weekend. Of course, it
Um.
doesn't matter now, right now, because the ship's not there. But
Yeah.
just to give you an idea, the ship is prone to getting hit from things floating downriver from time to time.
The interesting thing that they were talking about here with the Iowa class ships that they took out on the New Jersey, but they left in place on the other Iowas, um, was uh, a mine sweeping function that she could have two what do they call it, paraffins that come out from her bow that can basically she's like the largest minesweeper that you could possibly have. And
I know it.
they
I know what you're
decommissioned
talking
it. Yeah,
about.
they
Yeah.
decommissioned it on the New Jersey during her. I think it was during her '80s refit, her 1982 refit. Um, so that because they didn't feel that it was necessary until like the Iranians were like mining the is it the Gulf of
The
Iran?
Persian Gulf.
Yeah, the Persian Gulf area with mines, and so
Hmm.
like Missouri and Wisconsin, I think were doing some mine sweeping duty. One of them refused to do it. The captain of the ship actually refused to do any kind of mine sweeping duty at all.
Really?
Yeah, didn't realize that a captain of a ship could. Well, he's the captain of the ship, so
Yeah, but even the captain has a superior in the military.
that's true. That's very true. Anyway, we'll move on. And we get some bow shots here taken. This is actually going about halfway up the stairs near the caisson, coming back up to the ground surface.
That's a that's a gorgeous shot.
Oh yeah. There's a couple of dents that they have no clue. They have an approximate time period of when something took place, but they don't have anything logged of an occurrence happening that would have caused the dent. There's a one big dent in her bow, and I don't think I actually got a shot of it. It's in the video, but I don't think we got a shot of it because it's on the other side of the ship. We're looking at the starboard side right now, and
Hmm. On the port side.
it's on the port side. Yeah.
Now, I imagine they're going to repair that while they have her.
No, no, they're gonna leave it as is.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, they're gonna leave it. The only thing that they need to do is so a lot of her plating, not non-armor plated area, is 9/16, between 7/16 and 9/16. and some of that pitting has actually gone down to like less than a quarter of an inch. So they were going to add they're adding doubler plates to some of the sections of hull to for prevention of any possible intrusion of water.
Right.
Now the Queen Mary's got a situation where she's got 1 inch thick plating on her bottom, and she grounded was it 1949 in Cherbourg, and was dragged off of the sandbar, and that actually like basically kind of sanded down her bottom plates where she was resting to where it's actually like less than a half an inch thick, and it's currently showing like 3/8 of an inch thick. And when the ship was brought into dry dock in Long Beach in '68, they had added a cement patch to try and flare it out. Well, the cement patch has failed and it has fallen away from the ship, and so her 3/8 inch plating is now exposed. So they're thinking of ways on what they can do to possible intrusion prevention. But but when we're talking 3/8 of an inch and the New Jersey's talking less than a quarter of an inch, I'm not really all that concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Some more shots here of the bow. And we were talking yesterday, shots of the caisson, which I thought was very interesting. You think of a dry dock and it having a fixed door. It really doesn't have a fixed door. It's like a floating concrete ship that's fit to the size of the opening of the dry dock, and they flood it and drain it depending upon how it needs to be, whether they need to move it or unseal it, from the dry dock. But
they just recently posted a video where they did that. You flood the dry dock because they had to move her around. I forget what the reason was why they had to move her, but yeah, they did that.
So I'm actually standing on the caisson right now. And in fact, I think what makes the seal. But it was a little disheartening because when you are, especially if you're like along a river like that, you've got debris, tree branches and trash and stuff. So when they set the caisson in place to make the seal, it doesn't make a perfect seal. So there's all kinds of spots where the river is trying to get into the dry dock, and you can see it. And so
there's a way it will get in.
Yep. And so they just have to keep running pumps to they capture it all. That's another reason why it's deeper there at the stern or at the caisson, because it's kind of like a trough where they capture all that water before it actually can enter into the dry dock basin itself. I would have liked to have climbed down in there if I had the chance, but didn't quite get that opportunity.
Because you couldn't, or they wouldn't let you?
Well, nothing said I couldn't, but I wasn't about to.
Gotcha.
So in this shot, we're actually I'm looking out into the Delaware River. Big river, definitely a big river. Here's everybody getting shots of the ship. So we're dry dock on the left, Delaware River on the right. Earlier they were talking about the slipways. The slipways for the that were used for the New Jersey are gone. The footings for the slipways are there, and they even had like building structures underneath the slipways, but the slipways themselves are gone. So there's nothing really to see. I know that Ryan Zemansky did a video on what remained of the shipyard that was part of her launching. Some more of the Delaware River. Good day though. It looked like it was going to rain, but it didn't rain.
I had a poncho on when we were doing the Texas tour. It rained the entire weekend.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
they said, rain or shine, we're doing it. And good thing, because I really did not want to reschedule that. I was
Right.
like, you know what? I can get wet. I've been getting ponchos at Walmart are 99 cents,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. There you go. The final
Like
shot of the
I
final
want
shot
to
of the
see
bow
it.
here.
Let's do it.
Yep. Good shot of the bow, right up.
Always said the Iowas, like that very front end structure of the bow always kind of looks like a crocodile snout to me.
Yeah, it does. I agree. I agree. They were flying a flag on the jackstaff. That's the the little mast on the bow, and I guess they were flying it like every week or so, and then they were selling those. You could buy the flag that flew on the New Jersey for a week.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they're going to be doing as far as physical pieces that they're removing from the kit
Mhm.
to make into souvenirs, because I gotta have something.
Right. And I was telling you this yesterday, um, that New Jersey is one of the only museum ships that currently has real, honest to goodness, Sea Whiz cannons, as opposed
Yes.
to uh, replicas that are to recreate the look of a Sea Whiz, but these are actual Sea Whiz cannons.
Yeah.
I guess decommissioned to where they're not fireable, but
Right.
I thought that was very interesting, and that's a Sea Whiz cannon that we're looking at there. And James, what does Sea Whiz stand for? I can't remember. I'm not the naval guy.
You're asking you're wanting me to do a quiz here.
I don't think we have. I don't think we have Wolf in the
No, Wolf is not here currently.
that's too bad. Wolf is normally your guy that
He is Wolf. When it comes to anything with these, he's my guy.
anybody in the chat can tell us what Sea Whiz stands for. I know it's an acronym. Let's see if anybody can give us an answer on that. I'll move on pictures here
Is
until
an automated gun-based close-in weapon system to defend military watercraft automatically against incoming threats such as aircraft, missiles, and small boats.
okay, but Sea Whiz has got to stand for something.
Let's see.
I think it's like CWIS or something like that.
It's CIWS. I'm
Okay.
trying to find out. Hmm. Yeah, Phalanx CIWS, but we're trying to figure out what the acronym stands for. Or maybe it doesn't, I don't know, maybe it doesn't stand for anything.
I'm not sure it did. It did. Aaron, doesn't Sea Whiz stand for something though? Yeah, we got the Sea Whiz part, but I thought there was an acronym.
Close-in weapon system.
Close in weapon system. That's it.
There we go.
I knew it. I knew there was something. That makes
Took
sense.
us a minute, but hey, we got it.
All right, we'll move along here because we're getting close to where we're gonna probably have to end the stream, but we still got United States to go here. We got some shots of turrets 1 and 2,
And we still have our trivia contest.
and we still have the trivia contest. Yes, absolutely. Let me make sure that let's see where we stand here on. Okay, we're good on that. Oh yeah, but yeah, you know, we were talking about her her toe. You know, you and I were talking about the toe the other day.
Hmm.
So I guess when she's in normal museum mode, because you know the fact that she doesn't carry weapons, you know, doesn't carry any kind of like armament,
Right.
she's not in line with her her weight distribution. So when they planned on her coming into dry dock, they were going to have to lower her bow significantly. So they had to fill her forward compartments with fresh water. They filled it with fresh water. But they had to put in 2,000 tons of fresh water, about 500,000 gallons, so that she could be
And
more of an even keel. So that when they lowered her, you know, into the dry dock to sit on the blocks, it wouldn't be like to where her stern hit the blocks first, because if that was the case, you know, the ship could still move and then knock the
right.
blocks over, or you know, move them you know, askew. So they
And
wanted
it's
to make sure that.
funny.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, 2,000 tons of water. That's a lot of water.
It's funny with the kid. They had to make her as light as possible to get her out of her cradle,
Right,
and
exact opposite.
yeah, completely, and for different reasons. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's here we are. We had to essentially flood part of New Jersey here
yeah.
in order to get her into the dry dock.
Okay, let's see here. Let's move on real quick. Oh, yeah. So if anybody watches the Battleship New Jersey YouTube channel, I got to say hello and got my picture with Ryan Zemansky. This is the curator of the Battleship New Jersey. Really nice
They
guy.
have a great YouTube channel.
They do.
I tell you, them and the kid have excellent YouTube channels.
And the kids, that's Park Stevenson, right?
Yes. Yeah, he is the executive director of the museum.
Another good guy.
I've not spoken with him in person, but I have spoken to him online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is he active in a lot of the social media chat groups and stuff?
He has his own Facebook page, Park Stevenson Exploration, and I find him to be more active there than what he normally is anything relating to the kid. I
Okay,
think it's someone on staff that runs the kids' social media because their
got it.
Facebook page is actually very active too.
Got it. Okay, let's move on here really quick. Yeah.
Texas has a very active Facebook page as well. I don't see too much from them on YouTube though.
Ah, okay. See, I think I also show my friends. Yeah, this is my friend Mike on the right, and Ryan on the left. I've known them for about, oh gosh, almost 15 years now, and they're from upstate New York, but they decided to drive down to take the tour with me.
Oh, nice.
Ryan's younger brother Spencer was with us, but he didn't come back. We literally were leaving the New Jersey and driving out when I was like, oh man, I wish I had gotten a chance to see Ryan Zemansky.
Mhm.
And I think it was either Mike or Ryan here made the comment that says, "Oh, didn't you see him? He was standing right there as we were leaving." I was like, "What? Are you kidding?" I'm like, "Oh, let's go back. Let's go back." So we pulled back into the parking lot, and Spencer stayed in the car, but Mike and my friend Michael stayed in the car. But
Mhm.
this Mike and Ryan decided to come out with me, and we got our pictures with Ryan. Ryan and
Nice.
Ryan and Mike. Boy, that's very confusing. Okay, let's see. We can get past this. There's a shot.
I'll answer Ozzy's question real quick if you don't
Yeah.
mind. He
Yeah,
asked,
go ahead.
"Is the kid named after Billy the Kid?" No, the kid is named after Admiral Isaac C. Kidd, Rear Admiral Isaac C. Kidd, who perished on the USS Arizona on the bridge during the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Right.
That's who the kid is named after.
Highest ranking casualty in the Navy, wasn't it? For during that war?
Think so. During that attack, I would think so.
Yeah.
And the Arizona was his flagship vessel. He was on the bridge, like I said, and yeah.
Ah. So here we go with the United States.
All right, Big U.
Big U. So immediately following the New Jersey, we hopped in the car, and everything in Philadelphia is very compressed. And I was thinking, I was making the comment to you yesterday. The drive from the naval yard where the New Jersey is to where the United States sits is less than 20 minutes drive, probably about 15 minutes.
Okay, quick off topic, real quick,
Yes,
and I'm
yes.
going to hound you until you do this.
Yes.
As many times as you've been to the Queen Mary, you have not been to the Iowa, and it's like the 20-minute drive or something.
Right? Right. I don't understand
I'm
why.
going to hound you until you go to the Iowa.
So I'm going to make it a point this summer to make a visit to the Iowa. I have.
Yeah, because think about it. You will have seen, if you do that, you will have seen 2 of the 4 Iowas with your own eyes.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing.
Yep. So
we got to make sure he does that, chat. We got to make sure he goes to the Iowa.
I'm going to have to definitely schedule a trip to the Iowa. Absolutely. Yeah, Iowa is literally like 10 minutes from the Queen Mary at the most. Yeah, and
That's amazing.
You have to go over 2 bridges. You have to take one. I can't remember what the name of the new bridge is now, but you take the one bridge that they just built over onto Terminal Island. You go across Terminal Island, and then you go over the Vincent Thomas, and then you are in San Pedro basically, and the Iowa is right there near the cruise terminal.
Nice.
But we were determined we were going to get to the United States. We knew that we weren't going to get on board.
Right.
I tried. I was trying to make some connections, but I didn't get there. But we got to what they call Christopher Columbus Parkway, which is like the main thoroughfare that kind of runs along the river, and it snakes with the river. So the Delaware kind of has a south, an east to west portion that flows. It's right near the where the airport's at, and then it makes a turn to the north. And that's where the United States is, where the river flows more north and south.
In fact, when they towed New Jersey to dry dock, she passed right by the Big U.
She sure did. Yeah. So, we were on Christopher Columbus Parkway, and we knew that we were getting close to the United States, but we weren't quite there yet. But we made that rounding turn on the street, and as we made the turn on the street, those 2 big giant funnels just were like the big backdrop of what we saw as we came up the parkway.
That's amazing.
And just there's a shot here I think I'm going to show here in a second, but it was just basically our view when we were on the street. But this is the United States sitting here in East Philadelphia. A little bit worse for wear.
If I was a billionaire, I'd buy her and bring her here.
Yeah. Let's see. I've got several shots. So we're looking at all my takeouts. So we're seeing some shots where I took several of the same shot, but we'll try and get through that. Yeah. Now everybody takes a look at the United States and goes, "Oh, she's in horrible condition. She's rusting away." It's surface. It's really mostly surface.
Yeah.
Even when you are in a boat, and I've seen this on video where you can come up to the boat to the side of the United States from a boat. her wind water line isn't really all that bad. She's in remarkable condition, I think, for the fact that she has been out of service for so long and hasn't been serviced for so long.
Yeah, from what I understand, structurally, she's still very sound.
Yes, she is. So here's more of a broad shot of her. Yeah, it's unfortunate that a lot of the coloring of her funnels is literally washed away. You can start to see the natural aluminum.
This is. Let's look at her in her heyday here.
There she is. Yeah, what she used to look like, and what she looks like now.
That's how she needs to look again.
Yeah. With any hope.
Right. I've taken the approach that no news is good news.
And Aaron was making the comment about aluminum does not rust. Aluminum does not rust, but aluminum does oxidize. Aluminum oxide is nasty corrosion. Any metal corrodes to some degree, and aluminum, when it corrodes, it produces aluminum oxide. The United States has some issues with aluminum oxide, which is in her superstructure, and her funnels are produced, but not her hull. Her hull is steel.
Yeah.
But her superstructure is aluminum, and it's the same with the QE2. The QE2 had a steel hull, aluminum superstructure. I'll take a look some more shots here really quick. Oh man, it's kind of a. I'm glad that I got to see her now, because I couldn't even guarantee that in a year's time she might be here. You know, we're still waiting on.
True.
We're still waiting on word of the court decision.
The lawsuit.
Still waiting on that. You know, there's going to be some decisions made on her demise, really.
Well, and even if from what I've read from the Conservancy, and I think I've got this right, even if they do win the lawsuit, she still has to leave.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. They're not going to want to. They're not going to want to be paying $60,000 a month.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I don't know. It's frustrating.
You better believe it. You know, taken from the north side of the ship, just great sky. I thought the sky was wonderful.
Yeah.
For photography. Just lots of clouds and lots of blue.
They could make that such a tourist attraction thing. Here's a story, and I meant to mention this the last night, and I did not. So, where the Texas is right now, the planned home that she's going to have is across the channel from the dry dock she's been in. It's called Pier 21.
Mm-hmm.
There's a restaurant right in that area that is not too happy with that. They claim that it's going to block their award-winning view of the channel.
Oh, brother.
So,
okay.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I've been there. I've actually been right by that restaurant, although I didn't eat there. I've been right there. That ship channel is nothing but muddy water and shipyards on the other side of the channel. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know what they're winning awards for, but I mean, I'm not going to dispute that. If they say they won them, then they won them. But what is so great about that view? And if you memory serves, and I think I read this on Park Stevenson's page or maybe another ship page, the Midway.
Mm-hmm.
So this exact same scenario happened when they were talking about putting the Midway where it is in downtown San Diego.
Oh,
And
yeah.
people were opposed to this, blah, blah, blah. Well, now all those hotels and restaurants are some of the biggest supporters of the Midway.
Right. Yeah. They didn't realize the amount of people that they would draw. And the
The economic
Midway.
impact.
Oh my gosh, yes,
Yeah.
the economic impact of the Midway is
Yeah.
enormous for that area.
These museum ships prove, for the most part, from what I've learned, to be successful. I mean, the Alabama
agree.
is a huge tourist attraction.
I totally agree.
The Kid is the second most visited tourist attraction in Baton Rouge. There's only one thing in Baton Rouge more popular than the Kid, and that's LSU's Tiger Stadium.
Oh, sure.
So it's not like these ships don't,
Right.
bring dollars into their local communities, is what I'm getting at.
So I wanted to point out something really quick in this photograph. One, I had noticed that her forward funnel. First off, I've always thought that the United States funnels look as if it's like a kid with a baseball cap.
Yeah, like a backwards cap on.
Turned backwards. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. We had noticed that there's damage to, I guess it's the brim. It would be the brim of the cap.
Yeah,
on that forward.
I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, don't know what happened there, but yeah, we had noticed that.
I do not know. You do know why those funnel tops were designed like that?
Well, I know that flat surface is to help carry the exhaust away so that it doesn't actually come down to lower on the deck.
Right.
Let's see.
SS America had that as well.
Yes, she did. And there were several other ships that had the same design, and I assume it's all a Gibbs thing, where Gibbs was involved in the initial
Probably so.
design of the ship.
Yeah, off topic a bit. This is something I've always wondered. We saw how successful the gantry davits are on Britannic's evacuation.
Mm-hmm.
Why did no other ship of the time ever incorporate that into their, into their safety features? It seemed like to me like it was highly effective.
I had been told that, although you had the advantage of having triple boat launching ability from a single station, it was just basically the overall maintenance and the operation of the gantry cranes that didn't really prove to be feasible for the crew of the ship. That was the one explanation I had been told, was that you're talking about moving heavy machinery. Those gantry cranes, it's like construction machinery.
Oh yeah, they're enormous.
Yeah, they were they were humongous. And the explanation that was given to me was that it was like, you're having to teach a normal able-bodied seaman how to operate a construction crane and coordinate both cranes together, because they're individually controlled. So you had to teach two for each station. So it made sense.
I get
to me.
that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I get that.
Not sure if that's the real reason why they didn't take off, and Mark says they were ugly.
Also at the same time though, you still, even with Titanic's evacuation, you still have two guys on each side of the Welland davits, and they've got to coordinate that.
That's true.
Granted, you're not operating machinery. I get that, but you still got to have two people to do that.
Was it the Laurentic that also had gantry cranes?
I've never seen another ship that had them. At least nothing like what Britannic had.
There was another White Star Line ship. Mark probably knows. Mark's the White Star Line guy. Mark, can you remember what the other White Star Line ship that had gantry cranes was? Let's see if he brings it up. In the meantime, while Mark is
we can
processing this, I was pointing out, the United States was in Virginia all the time after her being laid up until June 4th of 1992, that was when they towed her to Turkey, and she was fairly much intact until she went to Turkey. Turkey, and then later Sevastopol, Ukraine, was where all of her interiors were removed. It wasn't exactly the most successful trip. They were planning for her to be a cruise ship, and they wanted to make her a clean slate, and that never came about, unfortunately. But yeah,
Mark said only Britannic had those that he knows of.
Okay, I need to find a picture of the other White Star Line ship that had gantries, because I know there was one other White Star Line ship that had gantries. Not as many as Britannic did, but
and Britannic would have had even more if she had ever served her intended purpose.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we just celebrated, let's see, 32 years ago was when she was towed to Turkey. My goodness. And that was that Ozzy says Atlantic? No, I don't think so. I don't think that's right. We'll take a peek. This was the view coming down the street. This is part of Christopher Columbus Parkway, and you can see the street here, and that was the image that we saw as we were coming down the street. With those two big giant funnels staring us right in the face. That was the view we got.
Amazing.
Yeah. A little bit closer shot here. But yeah, they just stuck out like a sore thumb.
That's a beautiful thumb, though.
Yes, exactly. Let's see here. Where are we at? I think we're pretty much drawing to a close, because I think I go into some Philadelphia shots, which no, we're definitely done.
Okay.
This is the USS Olympia, but we'll draw a close there. This is the USS Olympia. She was a cruiser, not a dreadnought. I think she was a cruiser.
Yes, she was a cruiser.
Yeah. Dating back to 1896.
Let's see. She would predate Titanic.
Predate Titanic. I think she predates Maine.
She might.
I think she predates Maine. But that's a story for another time. We'll go ahead and we'll close that here. So we're at the draw. We're at the good part, James.
What are we about to do here, Steve?
Oh my goodness. Well, okay, everybody. I want first off, I want everybody to type into the channel if you're going to participate in the quiz. I want you to type in this, and I'm going to write your names down so I can keep track of all of you. So I want you to type in this word right now if you're going to participate in the quiz.
Yes, it's good to know who wants to be involved.
Yes, exactly.
Because this fabulous prize can be yours if the price is right.
Mark. John Hill. Ozzy. Aaron. Of course, my pen runs out of ink when I'm trying to write. Okay, so we've got, let's see, we've got Max, Mark, Moons. Okay, so we got Max,
I count
Mark.
6 people.
Count 6 people, yeah. Max, Mark, John Hill, Ozzy, K4RNA, Aaron, and Moons. Anybody else? Anybody else want to take the chance of getting the answers correct? And
I hope you've been paying attention, folks.
So 6 of these 7 questions will definitely be based on information that was given during the live stream. All right, going once, going twice. All right, participants' registration is closed. On to the questions. Are you ready, James?
Let's do it.
All right. So the first person who types it in clearly in the channel, in the chat group here, will be considered the winner of the question. And so I will go ahead and give you the question right now for number 1. The Philadelphia 30th Street Station, the train station that we showed in the beginning, was originally owned by what railroad? Go ahead and answer now. What railroad owned the Philadelphia 30th Street Station? Ooh, suspense.
We need the Jeopardy theme right now.
Mark! Mark's the winner! Mark got it!
Oh, yep, Mark got it.
All right. Mark got it right. The Pennsylvania Railroad. John Hill got it right too. Yeah. Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah. PRR would have been sufficient. I would have accepted that, but Max a little slow. That's all right. There are more questions to come. You can still be the winner.
We have
one
5 more questions.
But 6 more questions. We're doing 7. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Question number 2. The Acela trains that run on the Northeast Corridor for Amtrak have a maximum operating speed, not their maximum speed, but their operating speed of how many miles per hour? Answer now. I'm going to play the Yes.
So Pat Sajak recently finally retired from Wheel of Fortune.
He did. I'm going to have to watch that. Uh-oh.
No one yet. We've got some answers, but none of them's right yet.
No. Speak for yourself, Aaron. No, that's a little bit too fast there, Mark.
Yeah, I imagine like the skin on your face is going to be like glued to the back seat going 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah. Let's see. So I'm going to tell everybody right now, you are all way under.
Except for Mark's 1,000.
Except for Mark's 1,000, yeah.
Yeah, that's way over.
yeah. Mark's way over, but all the other numbers that have been given are way under.
Now think about that. He said way under.
Yeah.
Someone's going to guess it sooner or later. Not 12.
Funny. We're chugging. We're like a steam locomotive. We're chugging. We're getting there.
Yeah, we're chugging along.
Bang!
Max
got it. Max got it. 150 miles an hour is their maximum operating speed on the Northeast Corridor. Max is the winner for question number 2. Everybody else is a good guesses, but yeah, not quite. What is it? The like horseshoes, you know? It's close, close, but not no cigar on that one.
Horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah, like horseshoes and hand grenades. Exactly. All right, guys. Okay, we're gonna go on to the next question. Question number 3. Is everybody ready? Question number 3 is the bell that is displayed in front of Washington Union Station is called what bell? What is the name of the bell that is in front of Union Station in Washington, D.C.? Remember, this is not. Ding, 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 ding!
Oh, there we
Aaron
go.
got it! Aaron got it!
Aaron.
Aaron got it. The Freedom Bell.
You guessed correctly, Aaron. Mark Titanic Bell.
Nope, not quite the Titanic Bell, but there you go. Yep. Aaron, K4RNA got it. Well, it was a good guess, Aaron. You did good. You did. I don't even think Aaron was here when we were showing that photograph. I think because Aaron came in late a little bit.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, good guess, Aaron. That was a good job. Okay, everybody ready for question number 4? Question number 4 is the decommissioned aircraft carrier that is currently sitting in the Philadelphia Naval Yard is what class of carrier? What is the name of her class? Yeah, I want to play the Jeopardy sound. Bing, ding, ding, ding.
Oh, Mark.
Mark got it. Kitty Hawk class. Absolutely. Kitty Hawk. Wow. Mark is in the lead with 2 correct questions.
Mark got 2 correct. Wow.
Yep. Max is 1, and K4RNA Aaron has got the other one. Good job, Mark.
Oh, so we're only 3 questions in. That's interesting. I thought we were 4 in.
No, we are 4. Max has got 1.
Are 4.
Mark's got 2, and Aaron's got 1. Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, everybody. We're moving on to question 5. Question 5 is, in order for the USS New Jersey to have her keel aligned with the blocks in drydock, the museum had to fill her forward tanks with what? And I mean quantity or weight of fresh water. How many tons or how many gallons of fresh water did they have to place in her forward holds? I'll take one of the 2. It doesn't have to be both.
Yep. Tons or gallons. Moons are concrete. No, they didn't fill her with concrete.
No. Definitely fresh water.
Those are not bad guesses for Aaron and Mark, but they're not correct.
Correct. Yep. We're kind of all over the scale. We're like either way above. Wow. No, I don't want to give any clues.
Yeah, I was about to say something, and I was like, oh no, that might give it away. So I'm gonna tell you something after we get the answer.
Okay. So I'm going to say that people are a little closer in gallons in their guesses than they are in the tonnage in guesses.
Yeah, the tons are way off.
So, okay, so we're gonna go with gallons. Let's try and go with gallons. So, the first person who tells me the amount of gallons of fresh water that was placed into her forward holds, we'll go with that. And I'll tell you right now, I think pretty much everybody. Well, Mark said 1 trillion gallons. It's a little bit overkill. Nope, nope, nope. Nope.
Remember, guys, we're talking an Iowa-class battleship. This thing is the length of Titanic. Actually, she's 5 feet longer.
And remember, when you give a number, make sure you put what it is, like gallons. I will
or
still
tons.
I will still take tons if somebody gets the right tonnage, but what? Nope. So close and yet so far. Hmm. Hmm.
Remember, you have to specify if you're saying gallons or tons.
Correct. $1 million. Yes, please specify gallons or tons when you give a number. Don't just give out a number. Oh my goodness gracious.
Couple of them that kind of got close.
So close and yet so far. Nah, I don't want to say high or low.
Yeah. How about this? It's under 1 million.
Definitely under 1 million gallons. Yeah. Definitely under 1 million gallons. This is so funny. I'll tell you right now, somebody has given the number, but they didn't put what it was, whether it was gallons or tons. So somebody has recently thrown out a number that would have been right. This is funny. I didn't think this was gonna go out there like this.
It would have stumped me like this too, because me and numbers, we
Don't coincide.
no, we don't get along. Maybe we should have asked him, how many rivets did it take to build Titanic?
That's too easy.
Man, you really stumped him on this one.
I did. All right. So I'm gonna go with.
Maybe throw him a bone?
I'm gonna throw him a bone. I'm trying to think of how to throw him a bone. It's definitely 6 figures. 6 figures.
In what though?
And gallons.
Okay, 6 figures in gallons.
So not to say that this is correct, but 800,000 gallons is a 6-figure number. Okay, but that's not the correct answer.
No, because multiple people have said that.
And like I said, somebody gave out the right number, but they didn't say whether it was gallons or tons, so I couldn't give that answer.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure to put gallons with the number. Don't put it after. Don't set it as a second answer because I'm not going to accept that. It's got to be following the number. Remember, 6 figures in gallons. Oh, so close. So close. I'm surprised that they're not doing like the, like 100,000, 200,000. They're not doing that. Throw it out, just numbers at random.
Wow.
Do I need to throw out another bone? Do you think I need to throw out another bone?
I'm trying to think of something. Check your chat in Discord.
Okay. Okay. Should we give a lower number too?
I think that's good enough.
Okay. All right. The next bone is. See, I missed a few, so I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. It's under 800,000. So don't show a number higher than 800,000. And it's not 800,000.
No, because someone's already said that.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ozzy!
Ozzy got it. 500,000 gallons.
Wow.
So I have to tell you, Aaron. Aaron, you said 500,000 a while back, but you didn't say gallons or tons. So I couldn't take it. But Ozzy got it. 500,000 gallons. 2,000 tons. This is rough. This is rough estimate, but yeah, because it's not exactly 2,000 tons, and it wasn't exactly 500,000 gallons. But according to the Battleship New Jersey website, it was rounded off to 2,000 tons or 500,000 gallons.
So, you just mentioned the tons, right? 2,000 tons?
Yeah, 2,000 tons.
Okay.
Right.
The kid's total displacement is 2,050 tons.
Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so we're now at question 5. Oh no, we're now going to question 6. But
yeah, this is number 6.
We have Mark still in the lead with 2. Ozzy has 1. Max has 1, and Aaron K4RNA has 1. So we're on to question 6, and then we'll be at the finale question. Question 6. Are we ready, everybody? Everybody, take a few breaths, because that one was a nail.
That one was a doozy.
Yeah, that was definitely a doozy. Okay, here we go. The SS United States departed on her tow across the North Atlantic to Turkey on what date? What date did the SS United States depart on her tow across the North Atlantic to Turkey? And I did say this in fact, I said this like less than 15, 20 minutes ago, didn't I?
It was something like that. It was shortly before we started the trivia contest here.
Ding, 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 ding! Yay!
Aaron got it.
Aaron got it. June 4th, 1992. Wow, we do have a tie. We have a tie right now. Aaron and Mark are both tied at 2. So question 7 is going to be a tiebreaker, possibly, or it could throw everything off, and then we're going to have to come up with another question. Oh, yeah, another question, and it'll just be for Mark and Aaron, because they're going to be the tiebreakers.
Yeah, they're the only ones who have a shot now to win it.
Right, exactly. Okay. So, everybody ready for question 7?
This is a Titanic question.
This is a Titanic question. James, you read it.
Oh, okay. All right. Here we go. So, Titanic's fourth funnel is often referred to as a dummy funnel. However, it did exhaust from 2 different locations within the ship. Which places, and we need both answers, which 2 things exhausted into the fourth funnel on Titanic? 2 different areas. Nope, Mark. See, who's gonna use Google the fastest? I think we have a winner, Steve.
Nope. Not yet.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay.
No, I can't say anything.
No.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hold
ding,
on.
Ding! Max got it.
Max got it.
Yes. The fourth funnel. Now, I will give Mark some. You had ventilation, but it did not exhaust. You did not have like smoke exhaust coming. It was simply like ventilation for fresh air and stuff, or exhausting the air out of the engine rooms. But the fourth funnel did not exhaust like smoke or anything from other locations, other than the kitchens and the fireplace of the first class smoking room.
Remember, the fourth funnel was not connected in any way to the boilers, the engine room, none of that.
Exactly.
So it did not exhaust anything from boilers or engine room.
So we have a problem. We have a problem, James.
Oh boy, problems are fun.
We are in a 3-way
Let's do
tie.
this.
We are in a 3-way tie between Aaron, Mark, and Max.
Wow. So what do you do here? Do you ask another question that we covered in the stream, or do you ask another Titanic question?
I'm going to ask a question from the stream.
Okay.
Information that was given in the stream. I totally know it was in there because it was given. It was given. Yeah. No, I'm not even going to say. No, I'm not going to say. All right. This is only for Max, Mark, and Aaron. Max, Mark, and Aaron, are you ready to go? This is the tiebreaker question.
Drum roll.
Yeah, drum roll. What year was the dry dock number 3 at the Philadelphia shipyard built? What year was dry dock number 3? That's where the New Jersey currently sits. What year did dry dock number 3 in the Philadelphia shipyard was built? What year?
Can you send me that in private?
I sure can.
I admit I don't remember.
I will tell you right now.
Okay, I thought so, but I couldn't remember for sure.
Yeah. Oop. So we've got some answers, but they are not correct. Ding, 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 ding!
There we go.
Woo! Max
There it is.
won. Max got it. 1921. Max is the winner.
March 1999.
Max, you are well, I've got your address already, so I can send it to you a lot easier. But Max is getting this, everybody. Max is getting the Titanic.
Congrats, Max.
Congratulations, Max. I want to see your finished product when you complete this. When you build this model, I want to see the finished product. That is great. All right, everybody. Wow. Are we at the 2-hour mark? Did we reach the 2? Oh,
we crossed it.
Yeah, we're 2 hours and 12 minutes in. Wow, what a fun. This is a fun afternoon. I hope everybody
had a great time.
Yeah. Wow. James, thank you for joining me for this.
My pleasure.
Everybody, I'm going to have some videos coming out on the dry dock tour of the New Jersey, and then we're going to be, in the later few weeks, going to have some really good videos of some interviews with Queen Mary upper management and the year of her reopening, and the year to come for the Queen Mary. Everybody, thank you very much for joining us. Please hit the like button for the video today. If you haven't subscribed yet to the Blue Ribbon channel, please subscribe, and we'll hope to see everybody soon. Thank you, everybody.